First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
PostWrestling.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts.
And twitch.tv/upNXT podcast. Hello, YouTube room. I know you can't hear me. There we go.
We're back, baby.
We're back. Oh, man. I ordered one. We've got a dodgy splitter right now, guys. If you're watching this live, you know the last few weeks we've been having some audio and visual issues. It was meant to arrive today, so it'll be sounding great and looking fine. And I then check my Amazon, and it's like, hey, your credit card doesn't work anymore. So support us, patreon.com/upNXT.
Didn't you order a wrong one too, and you had to send it back?
No.
Oh, I thought you ordered like a wrong one, and then it was like, oh, yeah, this one doesn't work as well. On top of that.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't do that.
All right. Well, we have a splitter that's dodgy. It's
Yes.
basically our USB hub.
Yeah.
Don't touch it. It's shaky.
Well, now, okay. Now the camera's flickering. You can't quite see my Maven shirt, but it's good. We're here.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to Up Next, Braden and Davie. We are your NXT friends.
Friends.
And we'll always be your NXT friends. And we're going to talk about some NXT from tonight, which...
Huge show.
I mean, one of the biggest endings of NXT history.
Ever, yeah.
Shawn Michaels basically telling us...
Right, it's the post credits. We know NXT has the post logo things where, and this might have been one of the biggest of all time. Pour one out. Actually, pour all your paint out right now.
Yeah.
Because we're back to black and gold, baby.
Black and gold is back.
Everything's fine. That's all it was. The issue was the color.
Wow.
Everything's good now. Sean told us so.
Yeah, it's like when you know, maybe you dye your hair or paint a new room, and you're like, you did it for a year, and you realize, you know what, I'm going back to what really works.
Yeah,
and that's what we're.
We tried it your way. Now let's try it my way.
Yeah, we'll go back to what works. You know, and that's fine. If it don't fix it, unlike our faulty splitter.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about some NXT, and it is the 1 year anniversary of NXT 2.0. So, you have orchestrated a nice roundtable podcast that we're going to be recording tomorrow, Wednesday, the 14th, live at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and we have some guests.
We do indeed, yeah. We're going to be doing a show for the very first time with Denise Salcedo and Jason Solomon. I've recorded once with Jason. We did an Evolve show way back when.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought it'd be really fun. We've kind of, obviously talked about NXT for the last few years. So I thought it'd be a good idea to kind of like a retrospective of this whole 2.0 experiment, change in philosophy, whatever you want to call it, with some other people in the podcast world who follow this product as well. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, so we're going to be covering everything from the last year of NXT. We're going to do a whole roundtable. The podcast will be out afterwards on this feed and the post-wrestling podcast feed and website and stuff as well. So yeah, we're super excited to chat about some NXT 2.0. So if you're available to come hang out live, we would love your comments in the chat and all that stuff. So please come hang out.
We'll be live on YouTube and Twitch, so come join us and share us your kind of live thoughts. We're kind of going to be going through some categories, talking about like our favorite matches, our least favorite matches, favorite gimmicks, least favorite gimmicks, kind of how we feel NXT has been in the last year as a kind of developmental feeder system, going back to that. And we'd love your involvement as well.
Yeah, for sure. And if that's not enough, I mean, it's been rough for the UK the past little while. You get a new prime minister, NXT UK dies, and the Queen passes away.
I know, pour one out.
So pour one out for a lot of things going on in the UK. And we thought it would be a great time to support the British. And that's doing a best match ever. NXT UK.
Yes. Unfortunately, we were originally going to have Sino on this show, but just scheduling conflicts.
Yeah.
But he has curated a list for us. We're specifically talking about matches that took place on NXT UK TV.
Yes.
I'm sure we're going to jump into some of the kind of takeover stuff that happened both in the UK and in US takeovers.
For sure.
But kind of like we did with the Cruiserweight, 205 live show, we thought it'd be a good idea to kind of look more at the TV, which is some more hidden gems, because let's face it, we all know Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne was pretty good, etc. So we're going to be looking at some other matches. All the matches we're going to talk about are on the Patreon feedback form, and we'd love, your feedback for this one.
Yeah, I put a feedback thread up. There's the Patreon one and a Facebook one as well, but can't wait to chat all about the good stuff. Because you know what? Watching some of the matches today for us, we're recording tomorrow, there was a lot of good stuff. Obviously, Dragon of Walter comes to mind, both of them there, but there's a lot of other good stuff on that. So go check out the list that we have out there, and then check out those matches, and we're going to talk about it and chat all about the best. We're going to get real British. We're going to maybe drink some tea and chat about some British wrestling. It's going to be great.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, so we're super excited. That's on the Patreon. That'll be available to all world champs and North American champs. North American tier, only $5 gets you access to all the podcasts we put out there, including all the best matches ever. The retro pay-per-view reviews was next, which we recorded another one today featuring Paige versus Summer Rae, CJ Parker versus Tyler Breeze. And the
development with the Legionnaires.
The Legionnaires with Alexander Rusev. And a mysterious blonde woman who seems quite ravishing shows up as well. So we're in 2013 of NXT in those shows as well. But everything's on there. Patreon.com/upNXT. It's only $5 and help support your boys.
And next week we're going to be splitting up a little bit. I'm going to be going off to New York for Grand Slam. You're going to be holding the fort down at BDE Towers. So we're going to be possibly putting out a couple of individual shows on the Patreon next week. A kind of road diary, myself and some of our NXT friends.
Yeah.
We're going to be seeing next week, and I believe you have some things in the works as well.
Yeah, so next week, I probably won't do a BD Elite if you're going to do one the next day.
I'll do something the next day. If you're around, we could do it together. I don't know your work schedule, but yeah.
I know
we'll have some sort of BD Elite out next week.
I can tell you patrons, meaning all patrons, are going to get a bonus show with myself and Jordan Goodman from the Wellness Policy. We're going to get real silly and hopefully talk about aliens and who knows what. But yeah, we're going to be chatting some things with some news as well on that show. But next week, since you're getting all ready for Grand Slam, I thought Tuesday night you're going to be away. You're going to a concert.
Yes.
So I found someone else to fill in your shoes, and that is going to be Mr. Chris Walder from the Walder Sportscast, who I've done a show with a few months ago. He does a lot of Raptors coverage, NBA, and then I know he loves wrestling, and we're going to chat about next week's NXT. So
amazing.
If I can figure out OBS or Streamlabs or whatever, we'll go live. But if not, we'll just do an audio format. But,
I think it's really cool talking with other people about NXT, because we're definitely, since kind of the AEW launch and especially the 2.0 turn, there's like kind of fewer people to talk to about it, and we're very much in our own bubble with our opinions. So I think it's cool kind of branching out and hearing other voices talk about this show, because we are going to be covering this forever. Forever. But talking about New York and Grand Slam, I've got a little kind of event and a get-together next Wednesday before Grand Slam. Wednesday the 21st from 3 p.m. I've managed to talk to the good people at Cheap Shots in Queens. And we'll be doing a bit of a pre-party for Grand Slam. We went to Grand Slam last year, and unfortunately there aren't really a great deal of bars in the area, especially not to really host a kind of hangout, get together. I think we ended up in like a restaurant last
Korean
year.
Spot.
Yeah, which was lovely, but great, not really the vibe pre-wrestling.
You don't like Koreans?
I love Koreans. We used to live in Koreatown. So yeah, I've managed to book this bar, Cheap Shots. It's 149 to 05 Union Turnpike in Queens. It's about a 15-20 minute Uber from the venue. It's like $3 shots, $5 all whiskey. I think there's $5 bonus wings on Wednesday, and they're allowing us to get hyped and play a load of wrestling music and stuff.
And no cover.
No cover at all. So come hang out with a load of wrestling friends. I know a bunch of people are going to be going. So should be a lot of fun. Get some cheap drinks in us before those inflated arena prices. But yeah, it would be lovely to see as many of you, even if you're not going to the show, even if you're just in the New York, the Queens area, come along and see us. Will be fun.
Sweet. So next Wednesday before All Out, I'd say follow all the socials.
Grand Slam.
Sorry, Grand Slam. What did I say?
All Out.
All Out. Yeah, that already happened. So yeah, make sure you follow the socials, because if you follow upNXT on Twitter and Davie and stuff, or the Facebook group, you'll see you'll be there and all that stuff, and the little poster and everything there.
Exactly.
And then, like, a pre-warning for anyone coming in for Toronto in October, we're doing a Dynamite after party at Sneaky D's, and we're going to attempt something we've always wanted to do, and damn it, now we're gonna do it. Pro wrestling karaoke.
Yeah.
It could fail miserably. We'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
Someone messaged me and saw the little post I had and was like, I'm going to do... sorry, they're not going to be able to make it, but they're like, can you please do American Males? And I'm like, Jesus. Just repeat American
It's
Males.
basically, if we can find a YouTube video somewhere,
lyrics.
it's happening.
Yeah,
they might be singing along with us. But...
I think you'll do Maven's theme.
Oh, got to.
I would want to do Maven's theme, but I feel like you're the bigger Maven.
I'm a little. I know I've been going pretty hard this summer.
Yeah.
My falsetto's completely gone, and it's upsetting me
Oh.
because some of my songs I can't do anymore. Which is, I believe in a thing called love and Take on Me.
Right.
It's sad.
Wow.
I hope it comes back. I'm kind of worried.
You can't hit those high notes anymore?
No.
It's because you're like Dominic Mysterio. You're a man now.
I'm a man now. Yeah, maybe.
Your voice cracked.
Yeah.
Your balls dropped. No, we're gonna have a lot of fun the next little while. So whether you're going to New York for Grand Slam or you're gonna be here, follow all our stuff because we got some fun stuff. We are gonna try to assemble a pre-drink thing, probably for both Dynamite and Rampage in Toronto in October.
Yeah.
So just again, follow this stuff if you're going to any of these shows. I watched some of Raw because our favorite Johnny Gargano was making his in-ring return, and he put on quite a match with Chad Gable.
Yeah, I mean, that's... We've kind of been saying when we've had these call-ups with the likes of Ciampa and Gargano and kind of Cody jumping over. It's not necessarily watching Raw every now and... like the whole thing, but if I know they're doing something, I will watch that. And yeah, I worked it's TIFF, it's the film festival in Toronto right now. Everything's crazy busy. Worked a party for South by Southwest last night. Got home super late, but I had to get that Johnny Wrestling fix, and what a match.
Yeah, honestly, that was like a takeover worthy match, and I saw them promote that, and
I mean, Chad Gable's just fantastic, and I think finally sort of starting to really shine on the main roster. So yeah, just great stuff. They gave them time, let them wrestle how you'd expect them to wrestle, and I thought a great showing. What I liked is, obviously we know Gargano kind of his stuff inside out, but watching the crowd there were clearly Johnny Gargano fans, and then people who've not seen him before. And little things like, he does his, like, rolling counter into the kick to the side of the head, stuff like that. You saw people there going like, whoa, what was that? The slingshot spear, stuff like that. People seemed into him. I thought a really good showcase and an excellent match.
Yeah. No, I thought it was one of the best Raw matches in forever. So, great stuff. I would definitely be checking out some of... He's a star that, like, he's like the smartest guy, man. He lucked out so good with this position. Now he's going to be pushed as this like strong higher up babyface already after one hot match. Like, what a great match you came in Toronto when we were there, almost missed it, and like great reaction, tells us who he is, gets in a great story with Theory, and that's all intertwining, and then Kevin Owens cutting a great promo, also bigging up Gargano. It's like, this guy's destined
and Gargano's, as you said, like tying it in with Theory, that's something that's quite different, where in the past they've been hot and cold whether they recognize NXT or not, but very much recognizing their past. And it's kind of, this has come right from their story being the way in NXT to feuding on the main roster. It makes sense. It's how it should be. And I think I definitely like to see. I'm not saying he's going to be the one to take it. I highly doubt it. But have a match against Roman within like his first 6 months in the company. I think will make a lot of people fans of him.
Damn.
And I think he could, in defeat, like still, be that Daniel Bryan figure who you're looking to win the big one. This underdog. I think he could have some terrific matches up there.
Yeah, I mean he's got to be one of Triple H's boys, but just I want to see him do so well. I could see him being a huge star for WWE just off that first match alone. How could you not? I'm trying to think of what else, because we did a BD Elite show covering our fun times in Buffalo. If you haven't checked that podcast out, it's on this feed. Go check that out as well, because we're Buffalo kids now. And then we're going to be doing a BD Elite tomorrow night, I guess, covering Jericho, Danielson 2, and Sammy Moxley, I think.
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, one will be on Rampage, perhaps, but will they be
maybe.
splitting them? I'm not sure. I've not looked at the rundown.
Yeah. So we'll be doing that tomorrow night as well on the Twitch and YouTube, and then we'll be on this feed.
See if there's more
talks of so-and-so is suspended. And
it's all gone kind of quiet now, hasn't it?
Being the Elite.
I did see that.
Hiatus. Damn. What could this all mean? CM Punk finally the one to kill being the Elite.
The Bucks putting out feelers, perhaps, as well. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, Usos Roman versus the Elite is got to be the biggest dream. Everyone wanted Bullet Club versus Undisputed Era for so long, and then we never really got that, and it doesn't look like we will get that, and that's kind of fumbling the bag a little bit there. But the big dream match, if you to ever book your video games, is 3-on-3 Bucks Usos. That's just makes total sense. If we now can include Solo and Sammy. War Games, Sammy.
Bucks, Kenny. Who would the other two be?
Hangman.
I mean, we're talking about if in WWE.
Oh,
right. Who? Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens
makes sense.
Yeah, that would be great. And Sammy. Sammy's boys with Kenny.
Sammy be on their side.
Kenny and Sammy used to be, I think.
So Bloodline needs someone else, or do 4-on-4.
Sammy returns on the Bloodline to join.
Sammy on the Bloodline to start with. We need, and then a mystery partner, which is Sammy.
Or are we looking at this where it's Roman Reigns versus CM Punk is the match we're getting in a year?
That seems less likely to me.
You think Punk going back to WWE is less likely than the Elite jumping to WWE?
I mean, obviously there's money there, but this guy just seems like a headache,
Right.
For this to happen, and I think a lot of people are on his side with the WWE stuff. I get that.
Sure.
I think less so now. I can't see it being all, shake hands, hugs, and CM Punk just having 3 years of happiness in WWE before quietly retiring. Doesn't seem likely to me.
He gets his WrestleMania main event against John Cena.
And then in the press conference after, shits on everyone.
While eating muffins.
While eating Mindy's muffins.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, it seems like maybe the people involved in this incident backstage at All Out afterwards, maybe they'll be off TV for quite a while. It's reported CM Punk's injured, so I mean, we won't see him regardless. But the Elite, quite interesting. Me being a Kenny fan, I saw on his social media, it looked like he was having a fun time at Nintendo Japan. So maybe he's putting out feelers for New Japan, being like, yo, Kota, what's going on? You got me into New Japan? And Kota's like, yeah, bro, you want to work for the Yakuza? What if Kenny just
go back to DDT and take it to
Just go back to New Japan. Kenny, New Japan would welcome him back with open arms, and then Jay White would finally be moved
honestly,
to the side.
though, that doesn't interest me.
No,
look who's in New
now.
Japan.
Yeah,
it's cool. I'll get to see him versus Tanahashi and Okada again. But I've seen that. It's
the only match.
Honestly, it's more interesting him in WWE.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Kenny, anyone
in black and gold in 3.0.
Wow. Yeah. Look at this fantasy booking.
Yeah.
I don't want to see any of the guys leave the company, but I mean, it could be CM Punk being the one who's not there, considering those three are kind of reasons why that company exists.
Yeah,
I would think, but yeah, too bad though, because they're trying to push more people to buy tickets for Grand Slam, which is next week, and it's almost but you're not getting 4 of your biggest stars, So it is kind of a little like, that's not a great way to push tickets unless you will find out the matches next week. But
it would be so bad for morale though in the locker room. I think because I think at this stage, until this investigation's done, you can't really bring back one side and not the other. But they do have, although they're losing a lot of big people, they've still got a lot of big
great
names.
Talent.
Hopefully this is the opportunity now to be like, oh, remember we've got Miro on our roster.
Yeah.
Let's do something with him. There's so many people that are like awesome there that just float around in kind of nothing feuds. Like put some more focus on them. Yeah.
I guess we'll see. We'll talk about all more elite stuff tomorrow on that show. And I was trying to think of something else. Oh, our pal Ted Lasso just went back-to-back sweeping the Emmys again.
Oh, yeah.
Hercules, he's here, he's there, he's every fucking where. Got an Oscar, and he cut one of the best speeches by saying, last year I won, and I was told that if I swore, like, I'd get in trouble again because I swore last year. And the whole UK broadcast bleeped out my whole thing because I swore. So he's like, so mom, dad, sisters, blah, blah, blah. Just censored again.
I thought he was going to say, but in the UK right now, the only coverage is about the fucking Queen, so here you fucking go.
Yeah. He didn't say that, but that show won like a whole bunch. Which
Good.
I'm like, man, I fucking love that show. And now it seems they might be making a season 4. It seems like he's like, oh, Sudeikis is seeming, which like I don't know how much, but his ex Olivia Wilde is kind of the heel now in this battle. If you've been following, but yeah, fun stuff. Should we talk about some NXT?
Yeah, let's do it.
Excellent.
NXT from September 13th, 2022, and it is the 1-year anniversary of 2.0. And Vic Joseph starts things off by wishing us all a happy anniversary. Says thank you for watching 2.0 this whole year, and he's so excited about this. He goes to hug Wade Barrett, and Wade tells him to fuck off. He's like, nah, none of that. And we start right away hot with a steel cage match as voted, apparently, by the fans. It's Pretty Deadly defending the NXT tag team titles against the Creed brothers. And this starts with the Creed brothers just hitting tandem catapults to Pretty Deadly, but they like launch themselves onto the cage and start to climb, and Creeds are going right after them. A lot of the early part of this match is just Pretty Deadly trying to escape and the Creeds hunting them down. Right away, all four are just on the top of this cage fighting away. Elton Prince almost makes it down to the other side, and Julius, showing off his freakish strength, is just holding him by one arm and just pulls him right back over the cage. How many cage matches have we seen? I don't think I've ever seen this.
Again, every week this guy is doing another feat of strength. Impressive way that looks. I love it. It's such a great part of it, this act that he's got going. Like, I think it works.
It's very like Cesaro kind of, what freakish thing can this guy do?
And lifting a guy like that is very impressive.
It was crazy. There's then just suplexes everywhere from the Creeds. The Creeds start trading their like knees to the gut to Prince. Wilson then comes in with a flying spinning uppercut, which I thought looked pretty nice, kind of Cesaro style. And then Pretty Deadly hits Dry Martini, which is like a kind of assisted code breaker. One like launches the other off his back into the code breaker. And then Brutus powerbombs Prince against the cage. Now Brutus and Wilson are fighting on top. And as Prince starts to climb up after them, Julius catches him with this like moonsault side Russian leg sweep thing. Didn't we see Ray Phoenix and Dante Martin do this?
So it's like inverted. It's like basically the Jeff Jarrett move, the stroke, but like bouncing backwards to land that.
Off the top rope. Looked awesome. There's then double superplex from the top of the steel cage to Julius here, which looked great. Well, when I was thinking about it, it's this superplex, it's still just off the top rope. So he's probably the same height as a normal superplex. Yeah. But it just looks cooler because of the cage.
The cage is there, makes it look higher.
This got a huge like holy shit chant, which was being bleeped out on the USA Network. Julius then, if his feat of strength earlier wasn't enough, this time he's got like Kit Wilson on one arm, like deadlift, kind of like the the reversal to the triangle where you do the deadlift one arm power bomb. He's got that on one arm and like Kit Wilson on the other arm.
Yeah.
So both pretty deadly on each arm.
It's basically he's got both of them on his shoulders.
It was crazy. And then Brutus comes off with like a doomsday Brutus bomb.
Yeah.
Meatball.
The cannonball, meatball, whatever they're calling this, the Brutus bomb. But we've seen him do it with the one person. And we're like, okay, that was pretty cool. This looks even way more fun. This looks way like a bigger move. Like falling on them in the cannonball position off the top. This is such a good part of their tag team offense.
Look crazy. Damon Kemp then runs down and starts climbing the cage, and he's holding handcuffs. Julius goes after him, trying to kick him off the cage, but in doing so gets handcuffed to the top of the cage, and now he's just struggling to get free. But this allows Brutus to just run shit right here. He's clotheslining both pretty deadly, launching them against the cage, hits the pounce, overhead suplexes, and then as Brutus is trying to get the cage, trying to get the handcuffs off of Julius, pretty deadly asks for the door to be open. So they're going for the door, but Brutus takes them both out with the spicy meatball, they called it here. Another Brutus bomb.
Yeah.
But only a 2 counts. Julius then with one hand has grabbed Kit in a sleeper hold while Brutus applies the ankle lock, but pretty deadly escape and hits spilt milk to Brutus. 1, 2, Brutus kicks out.
Big kick out
Huge
spot.
near fall here.
Bit for sure.
Which I don't think we've seen on 2.0 yet, a kick out from this. Maybe on UK, but I don't recall people kicking out of this. So this is pretty big. Now Pretty Deadly are just annihilating Brutus, delivering knees to the head. They're smashing him against the steel cage, elbows to the back of the head, and then they hit Spilt Milk once again, and this time pin Brutus Creed, and thus retain the NXT Tag Team Championship.
Yeah, a pretty strong opener. Great way to start the show. The gimmick of the cage match added great when you got to use the strength of the guys lifting them back in. So they used that. And a great way of the heels always trying to escape through the door. I mean, no one uses the door except bad guys trying to escape the cage. Yeah. But some of the moves were sweet. I really love a Doomsday Device cannonball thing. Looks so cool. I hope they keep using that again. They're very creative in their spots, I find, the Diamond Mine guys. And I mean, I kind of figured they'd lose here only because I could see them not being on this show for like much longer. I don't know in the right way to or how to bring them in, but if they're not winning this, like they should be, but then it's like no one's big enough to even confront these guys. So you're going to have them have a long run again?
It's
no.
Whether the only thing I could see is wanting to maybe have these guys stick around to do War Games.
Yeah.
I think have these two, Roddy and
Bobby Fish.
If you find them 2 other people, or you could go back to the 3-on-3 War Games we had as the first one in NXT. But that's something I'd like to see these guys in. I think they'd be great in a War Games match. But yeah, I if they're not getting the tag team titles back, what else is there?
Exactly.
For these guys?
I mean, they got a feud with Damon, but Damon's picking on a group that's got 3 and he's got 1. So is he joining Elton and John? It was Elton Prince.
Like last week, Pretty Deadly were like, oh no, we have nothing to do with Damon Kemp, but like if you wanted to, you could certainly team them up.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this. Pretty Deadly, their offense isn't particularly entertaining.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty basic.
They're very basic.
But their character work is great.
Yeah.
So I think for the cage match, it actually helped my enjoyment of their match, because the whole thing was them just being cowards trying to escape, and then the Creeds have the most fun moves to just catch someone. Someone tries to escape, you grab them around the waist and throw them over your head.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And some really creative double team spots and stuff here. I thought this was a really fun cage match, actually.
Yeah, I mean, probably the match of the night on this show. And
I'd say so.
Great way to start the show again. And we've been saying week by week, these guys, the Diamond Mine guys, the Creed brothers, are just so much fun. I personally would have had them win if they are staying around, just because they're leagues above a lot of the other teams. But I guess looking at it, I don't know who else would be actual contenders. So put them on like the main roster really quick. It's unfortunate. I think if you just paired, I think it kind of sucks. If you followed this Diamond Mine thing, they've been through so many changes, but the 3 of them, Roddy and the Creeds, makes the most sense. And adding Damon worked because he showed up
Yeah.
whenever we've seen him in little bursts of matches. So it's kind of like, I think the four of you may have actually worked that way. But maybe they bring Tyler Rust back.
Unless... maybe.
It's free, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's kind of... Damon already just feels a bit of an odd end. So you need to have someone go with him, I think, for this to work. Because then you can do the tag matches. And if... Like, Roddy's clearly not going to join him because he got attacked by him.
Yeah.
Unless that was all a ruse or whatever, which I can't really see.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think Damon needs a friend, doesn't he?
Damon does. Maybe his brother? I don't think they'll be using Gable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But fun match.
We go backstage where we see Mackenzie Mitchell with Wesley, Joe Gacy, and Von Wagner. This was the fan vote to see who will face Carmelo Hayes in tonight's main event. And wouldn't you know it, it wasn't Joe Gacy and Von Wagner. It's Wesley wins. He says he's thankful but has a lot of responsibility to walk out North American champion. Gacy wishes him congratulations, and he says, I accept the result of the vote, and shakes Wesley's hand. And Wes looks a little unsure but shakes his hand and wipes it on his top after. And then Joe says, it's okay, there's important work to be done tonight.
So the votes are in, but it's not Taboo Tuesday, which I still think they could have turned this into. But isn't it kind of obvious?
The votes were really downplayed, tonight.
They were. Yeah, they were.
It's like they've been tweeting throughout the week, and I didn't even know who the options were.
No idea.
But yeah, it was like how they used to do it, like, hey, would you like option A, $1 million, option B, a pile of shit, or option C, like, fucking empty can, I don't know. So you go, I wonder which one I'll go for.
So who is the empty can and who is the pile of shit?
I call Von Wagner an empty can, I think.
Better than a pile of shit. You could put the shit in the can.
I don't know, the hole's a little small.
Creepy Joe Gacy?
Yeah.
Big pile of shit.
So that's our main event, apparently, tonight.
Pile of shit? No. Wesley versus Mello.
Wesley versus Mello.
Yeah, it's very like, hey, we know you're not going to vote. Even if this is a real voting, not rigged voting whatsoever.
I want to know what the other options for... Was it like a cage match, an arm wrestle, or a dance-off the other one?
Wow, I wonder what they're going to pick if you vote. Yeah.
We get a recap video just highlighting the whole first year of 2.0, focusing a lot on kind of the wedding with Dexter and Indy, which was the very first episode last year, and showing some fun highlights, including Sanger hitting a cannonball on Duke Hudson in a pool.
Yeah, great stuff. Again, check us out for our 2.0 year in review, because we'll be chatting all about these great moments and great video packages. You mentioned Von Wagner. We'll definitely be talking about him.
It's Wagner's world.
And we're just living in it.
Yeah. We go to our next match. Lash Legend taking on Fallon Henley. They've been feuding back and forth for quite a little bit.
I mean, you're forgetting that Fallon Henley brought out Briggs and Jensen, but also brought out the Night Prowler.
I'm not forgetting at all. It's next to my notes. But Night Howler.
Oh, I thought it was the Night Prowler.
Night Prowler's a little creepy for a little kid.
Night Prowler.
The Night Howler.
Yeah.
Mason Ramirez, who's a Connor's Cure
nice.
cancer survivor. And
yeah.
This was nice.
I thought this was pretty sweet that they have this person come out, like, to do this in conjunction with this whole thing. Like,
he looked so excited as well
definitely.
in his kind of superhero Night Howler costume.
It would suck though if he's like there in Fallon's corner and then she just gets like
lost.
annihilated by her opponent, and it's like, oh, all right, well.
And then like getting in his face. Geez. This is your hero, Fallon Henley. Yeah.
She's just like, get out of here, run.
She's bleeding. Lash is holding her head. Jeez. Like, look at that.
But I was scared the Night Howler was gonna turn on Fallon and get involved. But Fallon had the...
No, he backed the right horse, girl, here. You see, yeah.
Yeah, Briggs and Jensen there to make sure he's all right.
Yeah, looking after him.
It looked like he was having a blast.
Yeah, it looked fun. Yeah. The match, not so much. There's a big slap across the chest of Lash Legend. Lash hits her. She needs to work on these big boots because she was just a mile off, missing this big boot, knocking Fallon off the apron. Legend then throws Henley into the ring post. There's knees to the gut from Lash. And then this like gut wrench torture rack thing. But it just didn't look good. She kind of backed off into the corner and you thought maybe she was going to place her on the turnbuckle, but then just put her down. It really didn't look very nice.
The Canadian backbreaker thing, yeah.
Fallon is then on her back, starts kicking away at the leg of Lash Legend. Lash goes for a big boot again, but this time misses deliberately. And then Fallon hits a wheelbarrow bulldog, which looked pretty nice.
Okay, this was actually really sweet. I mean, Henley, Tesha Price. She did this like crazy, like almost springboarding with her feet, jumping, twisting in midair into the wheelbarrow on Lash, into like the Rey Mysterio style bulldog. This was impressive. And I think we've kind of said there's been little glimpses of Fallon showing us she's kind of leagues ahead of a lot of people in NXT, but isn't being positioned that way. And just a flash of like doing something like that, I was like, okay, you're great.
Yeah, look really good. And then she finishes up with this big kick to the side of the head to pick up the win. Yeah, I like Fallon a lot. I think she's great. Lash, I know she's only been doing it a year, but when you see, like, they cut bait pretty early with Parker Boudreaux, you know, because they, I guess, didn't see improvements or whatever. And when you look at him, you go, okay, but like maybe give it a bit of time because this guy looks like a beast. I kind of think maybe that's what they're doing with Lash. She's obviously got that height. She's quite like, she's got a presence about her and she can talk, but she's not really shown any improvement. She looks lost a lot of the time. You see her just walking around waiting for the next spot. A lot of her strikes are just miles away, like just missing the opponent. It just not a very good outing from her again.
Yeah, I like Lash Legend's like the way she presents herself and the way sometimes she talks and kind of has this character she's been created. I'm glad they moved away from the TV talk show presenter thing.
But, we'll see it again.
But the wrestling just has not connected. But she's definitely been one of them that has been put on TV. Like I think like just a lot earlier than maybe.
When you consider people who started at the same time are Bron Breakker, Tiffany Stratton, who every time we see them, we're like, oh, they're just getting so much better.
Yeah.
It's been the same amount of time and haven't really seen it here.
Yeah. But I mean, the Night Howler was pretty happy.
Yeah, he was awesome. We have some bad news, guys. Ulyssa Leon comes out of the trainer's room, and she's like, Sanger and Valentina Feroz are there looking on earnestly, and she says, "My knee is torn. I'm out. I'll be out for 9 months." Maybe she had a brawl in her backstage that took her out for this long.
I mean, well, wait a second. We never got to see what happened with these three. Did they go out?
Weren't they going to the spa? They were having a spa day, weren't they?
To the spa?
Did we make that up, or did we...
I thought they went to the Rippers.
I thought they went to the spa.
They went to the spa.
Oh, no, they can be the same thing. They're not mutually exclusive.
They did yoga.
Okay.
They did yoga. Yeah,
like, they went to a retreat, did they not?
Yeah, like a yoga thing.
A yoga stripper spa.
Maybe that's how she got injured.
Maybe
she pulled a hammy or something. I'm really sad for this because these two are awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean, now Valentina Feroz is gonna have this big solo run, which I'm definitely okay with. Big fan of Valentina Feroz.
Which they indicate here. Sanger says. Sanger says it's. They all kind of console Ulyssa, but say it's Valentina's time now. But this is when Mr. Stone walks in and says, "You're upset, we're upset. Von Wagner should have won that fan vote." And then Von goes to say something, but Sanger shuts him down and tells him to watch his language as ladies are present. So I assume we're getting Big Lads Wrestling coming soon with Sanger v. Von.
I mean, yeah.
Dream match.
Big matchup here if these two go at it. The big lads of NXT. But yeah, pour one out for who was it? Valentina? Damn. Ulyssa's leg injury there. So I mean, we need to see her back. But apparently it said 9 months. So that's a long time. So Feroz, get the rocket. Sang is going to be your manager.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, I think she's fantastic.
She's been great. So have her mix it up with
for sure
Tiffany and Fallon and all that.
And you got Sanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see Briggs and Jensen, and they see Toxic Attraction. And Brooks goes up to Mandy and says, wow, Mandy, your Instagram post last week was great. Big fan. And then says, I really liked your titles. And she's like, excuse me? And she's like, in your dreams, honey. He's like, whoa, how do you know you're in my dreams every night? And she basically calls him a kid, a virgin, a loser. And Fallon gets in her face and like calls her out. And Mandy's like, oh yeah, honey, I remember my first match. Ooh. Just mocking her. But cool. I guess we're setting up for Fallon and Mandy down the road sometime. Yeah,
they get real scrappy here. They get pulled apart by Fallon trying to fight Mandy here. But yeah, I mean, this is long-term storytelling, because if you remember, wasn't he talking about Mandy like all the way back as well? Like,
wasn't that Idris and
that was them as
Malik?
well? But Jensen did that as well, where he's like, oh my god, it's Mandy Rose.
It was Caden, wasn't it?
Was it Caden?
Yeah, he liked Caden.
Oh man. Well, yeah, probably.
But maybe you could get Malik and Anofi being like, hey, back off. And Wade.
I like how he was like, I like your idols.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh man, this show still does not know. Is it for kids? Is it not? I don't know. Because then you have Mandy calling him incel cowboy shit over here. So I don't know what's going on with this show.
The guy who just took the little kid to the ring.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
now, like your tits, titles.
The kid's like, wow, when I grow up, I want to be like
Brooks Jensen.
Yeah. Bless him.
So yeah, there's that. Toxic Attraction then head to the ring, and Mandy says, I'm back from vacation, feeling good and looking even better. I said I'd unify the titles, and that's exactly what I did. I took out the two best women in NXT UK history, which I found when she said this line, I was like, didn't Kaylee Ray hold the title for like forever?
5 years.
But okay. And says, when NXT Europe begins, if I choose to, I'll run that too. I feel like she won't choose to do that. Yeah. JC then says, isn't it fitting that on the 1 year anniversary, the three biggest stars are here? We're the supergroup of all supergroups. Gigi says, when you think of NXT, you think of Toxic Attraction, and we elevated the NXT tag titles. And Kaden and Katana, your titles are just on loan right now. And Ivy and Tatum, you can go on social media all you want, but we'll prove to you that there's Toxic Attraction and then there's everyone else. And Mandy says, we've proven we're the baddest bitches in the room. We're soon to be 3-time tag team champions, and I'm almost the longest reigning NXT women's champion in NXT history. She says, Bron Breakker and Carmelo Hayes are great champions, but they haven't held the title as long as I have. So put some respect on my name. And that's when Alba Fire comes out. Yeah.
Nice. Kaylee
Ray. She says, you may have unified both titles, but you know nothing about where I've come from. In Scotland, we don't brag on and on. We let the hard work do the talking for us. And when you look in my eyes, you see a battle-tested warrior spawned from generations of fire keepers. Yeah, that was a line on tonight's show.
How did you get all that?
I'm from the UK. I can understand Scottish sometimes.
Everything you just said could be fabrication, but I'm gonna believe you.
When you look in my eyes, you see a battle-tested warrior spawned from generations of fire keepers.
I definitely believe you. Now. They would have her say that shit. So what's your character? My ancestors loved fire! Did someone say fire? Mandy's like, not once did I say fire.
I like how she goes, I don't want to brag on and on, but for the 4th week in the row, I'm going to tell you about my ancestors who used to guard fire.
Where's the fire? Oh my god.
She says, you see your demise and see the new NXT Women's Champion, and then she attacks them with her bat.
See, she should have lit it on fire, because we've seen her do that before, but that would have been a bit more, like, heroic, big entrance here, like, scaring them off with actual fire. Yeah, it's really weird. It sounds as if she came out here to be like, did you just mention my ancestors who love fire? It's like, hey, did you just mention Team Taz? You better keep Team. Hey, did you just mention Colt Cabana? It's kind of like, wait, girl, no one said anything about the ancestors and the fire breathers.
I thought it was a layup, because she says I took out the two best women in NXT UK history. Yeah. She should come out and be like, okay, you're on course to be the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion. I was the longest reigning NXT UK champion. I fucking love fire. Let's go.
Yeah. Very, very odd. It's interesting. We're doing the best match ever NXT UK show. And I watched the Kaylee Ray Mako matches, and I thought they were great. And ever since she's been here in NXT with this new name and the fire thing, it's not been the same whatsoever.
But I mean, we've seen her against Mandy in the it was a triple threat, was it? Or a four-way or something?
Like that, yeah.
We've seen her kind of do this story. Like, she's basically had this story with everyone she's feuded with.
Yeah. Just really loves fire.
Yeah, she hits the gory bomb on Mandy and goes to the Swanton, but Gigi and JC save Mandy to end the segment. But yeah, I assume that, like, this feels bigger than the Fallon match, so I assume this is the next, Halloween? No, that's still quite a way away, Halloween Havoc.
It could be.
But yeah, it just does seem a bit repetitive.
Mandy's just feuding with everyone now.
Yeah.
Until someone finally takes the title. She's been holding it for quite a while.
You know who it should be?
Alba Fire.
Naomi, and take it to the Bloodline.
Wow. So Sasha wins the women's. She joined the Bloodline too? By default with Naomi?
Maybe. Yeah.
Have you seen Sasha?
Sammy can be like, come, we're like, we're like fake Bloodline.
Did you see the videos of Sasha Banks and Naomi going around on Twitter of them at the New York Fashion Week?
I did.
They're living it up.
They are. Good for them.
It looked like they were doing some yoga as well.
Yeah.
In a video.
All right.
Some stretching or something.
Nice.
Professional. I didn't know models get stretched out.
Sasha
like
Banks is like advertising cannabis now. And stuff as well.
What's it called? The Boss? Is that what we call it?
Did you see what's opening on Queen Street?
No.
Shroomies.
Yeah. Yeah. That's wild.
2022's crazy.
Yeah. Shrooms are the next big wave here. Yeah, I saw Ric Flair has weed. You're telling me Sasha Banks, or she's just endorsing?
I think she's endorsing, promoting.
All right, because a lot of people like have their own like brands now, which would be great. Something we got to get. We have a listener who messages us once in a while. I think grows his own weed somewhere in Canada. We got to get him. I forget who you are. I'm sorry, but was it Steve? We got to get him to help make our own strain.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Poison Rana.
The Poison Rana. Yeah. All right.
It'd have to be a hybrid. Be nice. I would like seeing Sasha Banks kind of do other stuff outside WWE makes me think she's coming back to WWE as the biggest thing.
Get all that.
Get all your stuff.
I won't
out.
be able to advertise this soon, so let's
get it all out.
Do
all that stuff, and then just come back as the biggest surprise.
I have found it interesting because, obviously they were the tag team just before they left, but I never really saw Sasha and Naomi as particular friends, but it's been interesting since they've left. They've done all their appearances have been pretty much the two of them,
everyone knows Sasha Banks is the bigger star there, but I think it's kind of showing the loyalty of Sasha. Like, hey, you followed me on the way out, then I'm gonna make sure And
I think it actually, when they come back, if you bring them back as a tag team, they'll actually seem way bigger than they did before when they are champions, which did just feel like we're a makeshift team for a month because we don't have anything else to do.
They both win the women's titles on each show and the tag titles at the same time. 2-woman power trip, and Naomi
take them to the Bloodline.
Yeah, come to the Bloodline. Someone in the chat saying Team Bad runs deep. So yeah, remember they
True.
Team
Yeah,
Bad.
get Tamina and Vam now.
I always wanted that shirt. And I got the Boss one with the gold, but I wanted the Team Bad one because I'm like, I love Michael Jackson, so I'm like, it's bad. It's
I
good.
had the Boss one.
I had the Boss one.
The NXT Boss one.
Yeah. Once you're bad.
And I've got a legit Boss one.
I think I had that one.
The red one?
Oh, no, you wear that
the
one.
Glasses,
Yeah,
that one's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah. I used to love Team Bad.
Yeah.
That was good. I don't know how we got onto this.
The submission sorority?
Submission PCR. there's some weird ones in there. Yeah.
Is it PC? It wasn't PCR.
PCP.
Paige, Charlotte, and Becky. PCB.
PCB. What did I say? PCR.
PCR.
PCR test.
They're those tests. Enough of that.
Fire Frank's in the chat's mad because I said somebody mentioned Team Bad when it was him. Who is the only?
Wait, someone mentioned Team Bad.
Yeah. So I mean, we were talking about Alba Fire, but there's only one true Fire in the world of pro wrestling, and it's Fire Frank, the BDE champion.
So Frank, yeah.
Shout out Fire Frank.
Longest reigning. We have a insert promo from Cora Jade here. She says it's kind of like video highlights of her kind of year in 2.0. And it starts with the words, "I didn't change, you just never knew me." You think you know me?
You think you know me?
You never
think
did.
You
think I'm Naomi? She said she spent most of the first year just trying to get people to like her, and it's showing the feud with Natalya, when Natalya slapped her. And she said that messed with me a bit and probably cost me those early title matches, as it's showing highlights of her losses. And she says, "I lost against Natty, but I lost with her respect. And I thought, screw what people think. I'm a star, and my best friend is coming through the door, and I'm not wasting any more TV time on that piece of trash. Everyone loves Roxanne, even though she proved she's a loser. And I don't need anyone's approval, especially these fans. They have the education level of a second grader. And Zoe Stark, she has the personality of a shoe."
I don't know why that's so funny.
It was the best line in this thing.
Yeah.
She goes off on Nikita Lyons. She says, "Toxic attraction I don't like, but I'm starting to understand them." And Wendy Choo makes me laugh. She's just a human stuffed animal. Pathetic. She belongs in the corner of a baby playroom. And the generation of Jade is only going to be bigger. This time next year, I'll be the #1 woman in the entire industry.
Damn. The generation of Jade.
I kind of want to see more from Jade from this heel turn. It's very, like, let's just insult the fans.
Yeah.
You're fat and lazy. And it's very, like, easy stuff. And I think I think she should get nastier with Roxanne. If they've been friends forever, air some dirty laundry, that kind of thing. Like, be like nasty. Whereas she's just like wrestler playbook heel at the moment.
She should be like, remember when you rode the bus? I remember.
Yeah.
You bus rider. You share a bank account with
your mom. Yeah. Exactly.
Talk shit, Cora Jade. I think Cora Jade needs to put on some wrestling. I think she needs to have some like squash matches where she murders people with like, you know, a new move she gets over that she shouldn't be looked at, because she hasn't really been wrestling. So
no, not really, just the Roxy match. I like Cora. I do think, like, I think she seems confident and has good delivery and stuff. I just think the content could be better. Yeah. And I feel this Roxanne feud is like not really got the steam it should have at this point. We then have Wendy Choo being interviewed, kind of questioned about these comments from Cora Jade, and she says the generation of Jade is jealous of Roxanne, and Cora is so jealous of Roxanne that she's iced everyone out. And who lives in the generation of Jade? Not me. I live in an apartment. And this is when Lash Legend interrupts, saying, "Did you not see what happened in my match?" And Lash tries to kind of get a catchphrase over, like, "One and only, you can't clone me," but Wendy just mocks her. She finishes it for her and says, "The last person to come after me had their lights turned out." So setting up a mini feud with Lash here, which I believe is next week, but looks like they're going for Wendy Choo versus Cora Jade while, I guess, setting up for the big match with Roxy down the line.
Nice. Yeah. Again, Wendy Choo's character hasn't really evolved. She's still being kind of like this sleepy girl who's kind of annoying when I think she's great, but I hate this character. She even evolved the last time we saw her because she got out of the snuggle. Yeah. And she was wearing like tights, like wrestling gear. So now I'm kind of like, we're backtracking it already.
I would say now it does seem a bit more like it's that Orange Cassidy vibe where, I do this deliberately to fuck with you. Yeah. It does seem like she's more like that now rather than she's got narcolepsy or whatever. Yeah. Wait, is that the one? Or is that where you steal things?
Narcolepsy? No, that's klepto. You're saying Wendy Choo's a klepto? Don't start.
No, I'm saying she's good. No, I'm saying she's narcoleptic.
Yeah,
sleepy all the time.
She's a narc?
Yeah.
She's a narco? I love Wendy Choo, but the character's like, where can you go with this? If there needs to be some tweaks.
Needs more layers.
Because we always thought of the Orange Cassidy thing when she first showed up with it, but it's like, if you can like kind of perfect it, then maybe there's a chance you can continue doing this character. But I do think she's such a good talent.
We go to a big anticipated debut, first of two tonight.
Oh yeah,
is the debut of the super diva Quincy Elliott.
Oh yeah.
Describe Quincy's get up here.
Yeah, Quincy's wearing like a full. Well, nothing's cuter than a boy on his scooter. His entrance, though, he didn't come out in the scooter. He's like in a chair that like spins around slowly, and then he gets up, and he's wearing like a full body suit that was like purple and gold, and it had a collar like almost like Mr. Who was the villain in X-Men? Mr. something, Mr. Sinister.
Okay,
he's got like a collar like Dracula or something, but.
It kind of looked like a cross between Mabel and Goldust.
Yeah.
You know, it had the kind of Mabel kind of color scheme, but more the skin tight, like all-in-one bodysuit that Goldust would wear.
Yeah. I mean, him doing the like hip thrusts was kind of King Mabel, Viscera, right?
He's got like yellow marigolds on, like gloves.
Yeah. An interesting look here for sure. And he likes to just blow kisses at his opponent as well.
Yeah. His opponent was the one and only Sean Gallagher.
I thought it was Sean Ross Sapp.
He had those baby blues, didn't he?
He looked like a handsome young man. I was like, whoa, that looks just like him. And then it said Sean something else.
Gallagher.
Yeah, okay.
Wade Barrett on commentary here sounds like Undertaker in that Joe Rogan interview. Because he was just going off like... Hey, I remember when it used to be about like, you know, Stone Cold and The Rock and now I'm seeing this guy come out on a scooter blowing kisses, gyrating.
Where's the knives and
Where
the
are
guns?
the men? Where's the knives and the guns?
God damn it.
Yeah. Quincy just keeps on gyrating. He does a lot of the Goldust like chest stuff, you know what I mean. He
lots of hip thrusts. Like
does a roll through and then just blows a kiss to Sean. There's then this jumping uppercut, and then there's chance of Super Diva. He finishes with the bonsai drop and blows a kiss at the camera as he wins in like 30 seconds here.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I've watched him wrestle. I don't watch NXT Level Up, but I mean, I'm sure he's wrestled on there a few times. But this is his big debut here on USA Network, and I mean, he stands out because of the entrance and the way his gear looks and everything and the way he's acting, but not too much of the wrestling kind of shine through. I mean, he sat on a guy to pin him. So, I mean, not too much of the wrestling kind of shine through. And that, I mean, you need a good mix to become like a popular superstar. But so far, like if this is the bare bones of this like character that he's got working on, this super diva, then like, hey, it is something that's unique and different, so I will give it a chance to kind of see where it goes. But first impression definitely didn't leave the best taste in my mouth.
I imagine we're going to see a lot of just this style match to start with, just quick squashes.
Yeah.
And then the real test is when he's going to be in longer matches. I'd say watch Rikishi. You know, I think that for a guy this size would be... Because he was always super agile and could put on like long matches and do the squash when he wants to. So I'd say like if he could go for like that kind of thing with this character, it could get over and work.
Also, he didn't come out in the scooter and like use that in the match. So like,
did he not drive down on the scooter?
I feel like he was in a chair that just spun around. If he's in the scooter, it didn't move.
Okay.
Like it maybe spun around, but he didn't like drive it. So like, there is that.
Spun around?
Did you not watch the entrance?
He was on a scooter.
He was like sitting and it like turned around and then he was sitting there.
All right.
They did show him coming to the arena on the scooter, and there were people cheering for him this time. They made sure a few extras just stand there and be really excited. Yeah, I'm not gonna crap all over this guy, but I kind of want to see some of the wrestling come through to work. The character so far is literally you're doing Goldust.
Well, I mean, this was more about just doing the entrance and showing the character, wasn't it?
I'll say it's not as memorable as a Goldust entrance or anything like that.
No.
But this is the beginning of it. Cool. Let's see where it can go.
After the match, he dips the referee, like the classic like dancing dip. Dips the ref. We go to Cameron Grimes, who says, a few weeks ago, I told Joe Gacy I didn't need anyone, so why would I then go and join Tony D'Angelo? The only man I can trust tonight is Cameron Grimes, so it's time to man up and go to the moon. So basically it was meant to be a fan vote, or he was meant to have a mystery partner, but he's going to take on Tony D and Stacks on his own.
By himself. Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the locker room, Trick and Mello are murdering Wesley.
Holy, yeah.
Flat out murder right here.
I mean, this is classic NXT. Wes is at his locker, and Trick comes in being like, "See, you got a match tonight with my boy." Wes is like, "Yeah, I do." And he's like,
The fans voted for me.
"Yeah, the fans voted for you, huh? Well, yeah, actually, you're not having that match." And he's blindsided, attacked by Mello and Trick, and they put his head in the locker, and they smacked that against his head. And if
Twice.
that wasn't enough,
Yeah.
they did it a second time just as hard. I was like, "Jeez,
Getting him in the Goldberg zone, right?
wow." Yeah, that's right in the forehead.
Yeah.
This looked great, though.
It did look good.
And easily sets up for this to be a bigger match down the line, which we kind of been teasing for a while.
Yeah, Wes has been like flirting with
Yeah.
this North American picture for a while
Yeah.
now. We go to our next match, Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo taking on Cameron Grimes with no partner. It starts off with Grimes being all over Stacks until Tony tags in. Grimes hits a bunch of his yes kicks to the chest. Grimes goes for a sunset flip, but Tony makes the tag, like a blind tag here, allowing them to take control. And now they're just double teaming and beating down on Grimes. And this is where Joe Gacy comes out with the schism and gets on the apron. And Joe is trying to get the tag. Grimes manages to backdrop Stacks and then sees Gacy on the apron, who's begging for the tag. He's going, "Let me help you." Grimes says, "No, I don't need you. I don't need anyone." But then Grimes gets backdropped and falls into Gacy, who tags himself in and pretty much came in with the hot babyface tag here, was delivering clotheslines, huge uranagis and throws. Grimes then turns around and says, "I don't need your help. Like, what are you doing?" But Tony D drags Grimes from out of the ring. Stacks tries to apply a sleeper, but Grimes comes back in and catches Stacks with the collision course. And then Joe Gacy hits the upside down. We've got a name now. It's the handspring lariat.
Like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Upside down?
The upside down.
Nice.
The handspring lariat to Stacks, and Gacy picks up the win for this team.
Yeah, I mean, Grimes didn't need any help, but he was getting beat up 2-on-1. Gacy comes in with the hot
Good
tag.
guy, Gacy.
Yeah, what a nice guy. He's not so creepy after all. Or is he?
So after the match, there's chance of hug it out, and Grimes is looking confused, but the schism beat him up, and they hit Ticket to Mayhem, and Gacy says, "It didn't have to be this way, Grimes." He hits him with the upside down and then leaves the smiley face pin on his chest.
I never liked Ticket to Mayhem as a finishing move for them because they had some cooler moves. I always thought the grizzled young vets, but it would be cooler now if they did it where the one guy's like basically wheelbarrowing you into like the code breaker, whereas you wheelbarrow into the code breaker, but then hold it and then kick them off, kind of like some other guys used to do. I think Kyle O'Reilly,
Reynolds and Silver,
while the guy is still there, and then Gacy does his
the
clothesline upside down world thing. So that would be cool. So Grimes said no, which led to the attack, right?
Yep.
Again, Grimes is like, actually, no, fuck off, even though you helped me win. And that's when the boys attacked him. So Gacy made it clear that he also beat him up and hit him with the lariat. So he's like no longer asking Grimes to join him. They now just beat him up.
Although it was short-lived, I actually thought the hot tag was pretty good from Gacy. His
the
uranagis look really nice.
The biggest reaction he's got, because he was the babyface for a second.
And part of me was like, oh, actually, I'd be more down if you wanted to team these guys up for a little bit as a babyface tag team.
Yeah.
It would make it more interesting to me. But, let's just... I mean, we've been saying this for months now.
Yeah.
Let's just get to the match.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's blow this off. We see J.D. McDonagh, who is having a shave.
Yeah, he's in a dark barber shop.
Yeah.
He's, I don't know who his barber is.
With
Sweeney Todd?
What's it? A straight edge? What do you call it?
Straight edge razor.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
And
talking about personal hygiene.
he says, "Show me a fine young gentleman and I will show you an excellent skincare routine. Grooming is of the utmost importance." And as he's talking about how to look impeccable and look after yourself and maintain yourself.
Isn't that right, Gabe?
Yeah.
And Gabe goes, "Yes, sir." And he's like, good man, Gabe.
But he then nicks him and cuts him a little bit. And you hear, "Sorry, sir." And McDonagh kind of looks at the blood and sort of smirks a little bit and says, "I dealt with imperfections before. I dealt with the imperfection of the big, strong boy And Bron Breakker, this cat and mouse game has to end soon. And then goes, enough, Gabe. I'm done. What I did like is, and he was kind of out of focus, but Gabe, after he nicked him, you saw his hands shaking. Because he was scared of this guy. I thought it was a nice little detail.
Again, making JD come across very sinister and creepy and kind of in his own character here. He wouldn't have got cut if he didn't just go to Melo's guy. Clearly, he should have. But also, getting your haircut and your like freshly shaved neck and all that in a dark room doesn't sound.
You probably need better lighting.
Yeah, I use lights when I shave. Yeah. So I don't know about you, but I did kind of like this, and I also need. Gabe could be a whole character now. We like our side character.
I think this is how you should do JD's promo. Like, he should be cutting a promo whilst getting acupuncture 1 week. Yeah. And that kind of thing.
Yeah, true.
I think that's what I think 2.0 has done quite well, is having these different settings, like the barbershop you mentioned, and Tiffany at the nail salon and that kind of thing.
I like this. And everyone, everyone's kind of nicked themselves shaving once in a while, and you kind of knew the feeling, but then he's like holding the blood, and he's like overselling, like he likes it kind of thing. So, again, adds to this character.
Just wish this fake blood they keep using with JD didn't look so fake.
Come on.
It's got that orange color.
It's real blood, man.
Okay, all right. We then get a Bron Breakker interview, and the graphic they showed to like promote this interview, just it looked like Bron Breakker had been like caught in some scandal or something. He was like holding the title but looking like confused. I don't know.
Bron's Wild Night Out.
It was like TMZ Bron Breakker. Yeah, it looked weird. But this is a sit down with Vic Joseph, but does have some music over the top and kind of cuts to highlights of everything he's talking about. And he says he's asked how he felt about being the very first match on 2.0. He said, quite honestly, I was scared shitless. But when I came out, it felt like it was meant to be. And then when it came to Halloween Havoc just a few weeks later, everyone thought that I would win that. I thought I'd win. The locker room thought I'd win. The fans thought I'd win. And I think deep down Ciampa thought I'd win. And it shows the highlight of him tripping on the rope and then getting hit with the fairy tale ending. And he says, but in loss, I learnt from that match. And then at New Year's Evil, it meant a lot having my father there for the first time watching me wrestle. And that's where I won the NXT Championship. He talks about inducting his dad and uncle in the Hall of Fame in Dallas. And then the next day losing to Dolph Ziggler at Stand and Deliver. Which was He'd lost the title on TV before, hadn't he? It was in a multi-man, if I remember right.
He lost the title on TV and then lost at the
match at the pay-per-view.
Won it back on Raw.
That's right. Then says, I couldn't leave Texas without the NXT Championship. I won on the Monday at Raw. Then faced Gunther and proved that I can be a leader on this brand. Then talks about the Joe Gacy feud and how that taught himself how to handle himself as a champion, both mentally and physically. And then went through Grimes, JD McDonagh, and Tyler Bate, where he made history by unifying the titles. And he's asked about the future, and he says, Bron Breakker doesn't think about the future or the past. I live in the present, and I take each day as it comes. My job is to uphold the standard that the champions have before me.
An alright promo, obviously filmed backstage and added music and video, kind of helps him explain the story of his whole year here. But I thought it sounded sincere, kind of him explaining that he was really nervous and scared, and he graduated a year before this first year, so it's like not a lot of time. As they've mentioned, he's only had like a handful of matches, and he is pretty impressive. So I thought that kind of showing that side of it is very like genuine and kind of showing that, and then saying like the second he got his first pop is like, oh, this feels like I've been waiting for something I've been waiting to really get in my life. So I thought that seemed genuine. And then as for the storyline-wise part, I mean, JD McDonagh versus Tyler Bate is announced for next week, and the winner of that is the number one contender. So, I mean, we've seen both these matches, but you would assume we go back to JD.
Yeah, it seems like that's not finished yet.
Yeah.
So, no, I like this, and I think actually a year in, this was a good idea to do something like this, and shows a success story.
Yeah.
You go, look, I've been doing this a year and this is everything I've achieved, and having it in this condensed like video package, you go, yeah, you've had a pretty good year.
Yeah, for sure.
So I like this. We then see Tyler Bate, straight off the streets here. God, he looks awful.
Tyler Bate?
Yeah.
He definitely just still looks like a...
He's still COVID bait, isn't he?
He's just
It's
the
like we're
homeless
out
guy.
of lockdown now. We're not doing
Yeah.
the let's just grow
Playoffs
our beard.
are over.
Yeah, yeah.
Shave the beard.
Like go. I know you're fighting JD next week, but maybe ask for his barber.
Look,
Get Gabe.
Look, I'm not even knocking.
I am.
I don't think it's the beard. I think it's the hair.
It's the combo of the two.
Yeah.
The beard would work fine with short hair.
Yeah. And likewise, like long hair.
I think
without
so.
a beard.
It just, and then he keeps on coming out in like these baggy t-shirts and he just looks like he's like Thor in Endgame.
Like he's not though, because he's jacked. Like,
He's
still
jacked, but he's still
like
like Thor in Endgame.
he just looks really relaxed. He looks like he looks like he's been going to the shrooms dispensary.
Which would be fine if his character was more like a Matt Riddle kind of whatever, bro.
He could probably be really good at that. I don't know.
But it's not his character. I don't know.
It's not, yeah.
It's
no, I totally.
It's just jarring. Whenever I see him, I'm
so
like,
good, yeah.
You're good, and like, but dude,
He's
come
so
on.
good, but he doesn't come across looking
You
like
don't
a star.
look at
yeah.
Gallus for
Yeah.
like fashion advice, Tyler.
Yeah, he's definitely been. I don't know. He had like a nice like Japanese shirt on, but it was like three sizes.
When he used
too
to hang
big.
out with Pete Dunne, they look good.
Butch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pete Butch Dunne, his Twitter said. Yeah.
Nice.
But he says Bron has had an incredible first year, but respectfully, I'm looking for a rematch because no adventure is complete without its obstacle, and JD McDonagh right now is in my way. We've had history together. We've had many matches together, but if he wants a shot at the NXT title, he has to go through me first.
Damn.
So this sets up the number one contenders match for next week, which should be great. Like we've seen these two go at it before.
Yeah, they've had a takeover match before.
It was a takeover match. Was it? Not Cardiff. It was
Blackpool 2?
Yeah, like these two should, given time, have a great match. And it being black and gold next week,
because the guy likes being cut. Does he cut someone in the match to win? Or is that going too far with wrestling? Cutting someone.
I know we've had quite a few cuts in the last year in wrestling.
People doing it to themselves, but to their opponent.
Yeah. Maybe. We go to a tag match. Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark taking on the team of Kiana James and Ariana Grace.
My new favorite tag team.
If you remember, they checked their schedules last week and were like,
they were free.
Oh yeah, we're free.
We're free.
We can do this.
We can be a team. We're both very punctual, smart, beautiful, like independent women.
Yeah.
We can be a team.
We can team up.
Where was their assistant? Real disappointed the assistant wasn't ringside.
True.
That's like the ultimate. This is the ultimate stable. If all three of them, that's a powerhouse.
That is the super group of super groups.
Yeah, like the super smart group.
Mm.
Super smarties. What would you call this? The boss, BFFs too.
The
Real smart ladies.
real smart ladies.
Numbers crunchers.
Number crunchers. Trust busters.
We wear glasses to make us look smarter. I don't know what with their team. I love them.
The schedule.
The schedule. Yeah, I like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's all their moves are like based off like office supplies. I don't know where we're going. Axiom clearly needs to join this group.
Yeah.
We've joked about, but Kiana James is definitely becoming a staple here in NXT. Big fan.
Staple. They go to Staples, don't they? For all this?
Sponsored by Staples.
Yeah.
But again, disappointed no assistant.
No assist. Maybe next week.
Yeah.
Maybe next week.
The numbers didn't add up.
Well, Kiana James gets pretty pissed off early on in the match, so goes and grabs her bag and gets in the ring. Ariana's like, no, we'll get disqualified.
Put the bag
They're
down.
all yelling at each other as we go to commercial break. We come back, and there's a big half-and-half suplex from Zoe to Ariana. James then tags in, and she's not too happy about it. She's pretty scared about going in there against Zoe Stark, and she's just hit by these big chops and forearms from Zoe. Kiana James comes back with a backbreaker for a 2 count. Ariana gets tagged back in, and Zoe hits her with a big kick to the side of the head. And then it seems like we finally have a name here. The Z360?
Yeah, here in Canada, we call it the
Z360. Which is the, like, flipping knee to the face.
I think the Zoda sleep would make
sleep.
more sense, but yeah.
But then Ariana's kind of no selling this in a way. She's, like, staggering around.
Yeah.
And then Lyons comes in with a big kick, followed by the leg split for the win. Am I right? Lyons only did the finish here.
And missed on that kick, but...
Yeah, I don't know if she's maybe slightly hurt still or something, because it was just Zoe Stark the whole match until this finish here. But I didn't think this was great.
Yeah, I didn't care for this too much. There was a lot of just walking around and kind of sloppiness, for considering we've seen some good stuff from everyone really in this match. Even Ariana, as much as we've not seen too much, like she's shown some stuff, but this kind of wasn't that. But at least Zoe and Nikita go forward as like they're trying to push them as an actual team to challenge the titles eventually. So sure, but this super smart nerdy glasses team needs to get it together, because I think they could be money.
I will say what I've liked from Kiana James is her
skirt.
Her little skirt's nice, but her facial expressions, it kind of reminds me of like Ty Conti when she was in NXT and Alexa Bliss.
Crazy?
Yeah, like, and sometimes it might be a bit too much and you can pull it back, but I think that's going to get you far, like the character stuff. And I do think whereas a lot of the new people seem to be like, you see that kind of deer in the headlights look, she's always acting throughout the match, which I appreciate. But the match itself was nothing to write home about.
Yeah, but I still think all four like could be prominent roles here in the women's division at one point down the line for sure.
We see Idris Anofi topless in the car park with Malik Blade in his sweater vest.
One of them's, it's like nighttime, first of all, in the NXT parking lot, and then you are hanging out, one shirtless and one's in the sweater vest.
Yeah, it works.
Stuff.
It works.
It's great. Love it.
And they're chatting to the guy, the mysterious person in the red hoodie.
Yeah, we don't see their face.
Who has been doing kind of some promoting for the dyad, the schism.
Yeah, the red hoodie is their streets person.
Yeah,
promoter. Go put these downtown.
Exactly.
Go post them.
And Idris and Malik says they're not voting for Gacy as Superstar of the Year, and then Schism come out and was it
Zach Gibson,
which
Rip Fowler.
He's like, you fucking what, mate?
Yeah.
You fucking
hey,
what?
Lad.
You're not voting for Joe Gacy?
Yeah. I felt like I was watching some like political video.
Well, they've both softened their accent and gone more like an RP accent since joining.
Sure.
He was full Scouse here.
Oi!
And which neither of us can do the accent, and I wouldn't attempt. But yeah, he's gone proper Scouse here. He's like, you fucking what?
What team? If you're from, where's he from?
Liverpool.
What team would he support? Everton?
Well, he's a Liverpool supporter.
Okay, Liverpool.
Yeah, but yeah, Liverpool, you're either Liverpool or Everton.
Because this is like him walking out like, oi, you don't support my footy. Like, he comes out here all angry at him. We haven't seen him talk like this in so long. So
I know.
Like, what? All right, cool. But this is a whole political thing. What do you mean you're not going to vote for Joe Gacy?
Joe Gacy.
What? And then you hear someone, hey, you're not voting for Joe Gacy, you son of a bitch, and chases him. It's like, what the hell is going on here?
But this gets even better. Security are now pulling them apart as
Again,
they're brawling.
This is the parking lot.
This is the
so
parking
we know,
lot.
Obviously.
I'm glad they started adding security there.
Yeah.
It's about fucking time.
Yeah, really, really good to see that.
And this is the best bit. Hank
gets involved.
Walker, the security guy, gets involved, and as security is like holding each other back, it's like, Hank, you've got a match. We got this. We got this, Hank. You go have your match.
Go, Hank.
Go, Hank. We got this.
You got a match. You can't be here.
All right. And runs off for his match.
You wish you had coworkers that support you, like Hank's coworkers support him. That's just true love there. They know it's Hank's big night, and here he is, good guy Hank trying to do his job, and the other security are like, no, Hank, go.
Yeah.
We know.
Like this security guy here knew this was his big moment, and he put his all into this line.
Broke out. We need to find out who's
this guy?
Yeah,
New Hank.
New Hank.
New Hank.
We love Hank, but this guy.
Frank? Should we just call him Frank?
Hank too.
I know we got a Frank, but like Hank and Frank.
Security guard number 3.
Yeah.
This guy was great.
This guy was fantastic.
Someone at us and let us know who this guy was, because he put on a hell of a performance here.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. He needs an Emmy for this.
Absolutely. Great scene.
And it made you hyped for Hank's match.
It did. I was like, oh shit,
Hank's
we're getting
wrestling.
Hank.
Fuck.
Yeah. We get a video package for Pro Mansar coming soon.
I thought it was Oro Mensa.
Oro Mensah. It might be my autocorrect.
Pro Mensa.
Pro Mensah. Oro Mensah coming soon. The former, Oliver Carter in NXT UK.
His videos look pretty cool. He's got a rose. Look very zen.
Yeah.
Yeah, look nice.
Yeah, so coming another NXT UK person making the leap.
Oro.
Mackenzie Mitchell is about to announce the top 4 most popular NXT 2.0 superstars, which we've all been waiting for. And Grayson Waller walks in and he's like, well, it's going to be me. And she says, well, it's Toxic Attraction, Nikita Lyons, Carmelo Hayes, and Grayson interrupts and is like, and Grayson Waller. And she says, no, actually, it's Bron Breakker. Grayson, you've been eliminated. So Waller says, well, you guys suck. And Bron's been ducking me all year. And he knows when I get my shot, Grayson Waller will be NXT champion. And walks off, storms off, unhappy.
Damn, you didn't vote for him.
I didn't vote for anyone.
You didn't vote?
I don't vote. I don't believe in voting.
You don't believe in voting, man?
At me.
Wow.
Joking. Yeah. But.
You should really vote, man. If you want to see change, you need to vote. I mean, no one likes a non-voter.
That's true.
You gotta vote.
It's true.
Yeah.
Gotta vote.
So out of the 4 here, who would you vote for?
I'd vote for Mello.
Yeah,
but
me too.
I think I don't think Nikita's really done enough to be in that list.
Yeah.
Really. I'd have put Tiffany Stratton in over Nikita. Toxic Attraction, they're not really been doing it for me, but like they have been dominant, so I get it. But yeah, Bron or Mello.
Yeah.
Really. And I like lean more to Mello. We go to our next match. It's Big Body Javier Bernal. Did you know this is his nickname?
I didn't know his name. I keep calling him Javier Bardem.
Bardem. He's, Javier Gael Garcia Bernal.
Now you're just going to confuse me more.
Taking on Hank
Yes!
Walker.
Big fucking Hank Walker.
Hank comes out with the no music entrance.
We get a "We Want Hank" chant before he even comes out.
Yeah,
here.
he's NXT's Wardlow here.
He's dressed like Wardlow.
he's dressed like Wolfgang, but pulling it off a bit more. He's got the button-up shirt, a bit baggy, some dad jeans and some boots going on.
Yeah, he looks like he's like in a 90s sitcom. He looks like John Goodman in Roseanne.
Okay.
Like that's what he's dressed as. And then when you like look at him close up, he looks almost like Seth Rogen.
This guy's basically got it all going on, is what we're saying here.
Big fucking Hank here with the Hank chants raining out through the crowd. He's so over.
Just comes out dressed normally. Like I actually like this entrance. If they're pushing this guy as not a wrestler, he's just a security guy.
He wasn't even. I think. I love it, and he got super over, and we've been waiting for this. I think he should have just been wearing a security shirt to get over. Like, this is just showing me he's just some guy.
Yeah.
Whereas, he's actually security, because I don't even think he was wearing this earlier. So you're telling me this guy put on some gear for the match and thought his button-up shirt, Tim the Toolman outfit would be good for this? Like, where's your security?
Well, maybe
shirt?
he's not allowed because it would bring like
disrespect
to the uniform,
security
or something.
Yeah, true.
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like that would have helped him like get over a bit more. But regardless, he got over because the crowd were chanting Daddy Hanky.
Daddy Hanky.
Which is fantastic. Which is probably the name of this show. So it's by the time you're listening to this, you already saw that. But Daddy Hanky is one of the best chants I've heard from this 2.0 crowd.
So Wade is kind of going on. Well, I kind of like how Wade basically explained all the jobber cops we've seen in forever in wrestling.
Yeah.
He goes, look, we have a performance center, a developmental system going on, and not everyone makes the cut, but we often employ some of the people that aren't making the cut.
Did Wade just explain
as
jobber
security?
cops?
He completely explained jobber cops in this match. So he's like, so Hank, although he's one of our like top security guys here, he's not really been cutting it down there, and he's now gonna face against an actual wrestler here. And I I did enjoy the start of this match because Bernal goes for the classic like Greco-Roman knuckle lock, and Hank is like, I don't know what we're doing.
I don't know what
that is. Okay, you want to hold hands? So he's like, all right, how do you do this? He then just kind of muscles Bernal into the corner here. Javi comes back with some kicks and keeps on drop kicking Hank to the knee. Hank then tries to get Javi up, but Javier locks in a sleeper hold, and then there's a quite ugly looking Thez press from Walker, and then takes his shirt off. He's ready to go. Hits a running splash into both corners, followed by the big like running diving forearm to pick up the win here.
The Hank crank.
Sure.
That kind of sounds weird.
That should be more like a neck
Yeah.
crank thing.
Yeah.
He could have the Hank spank. He could have the
spank. Yeah.
The Hank tank.
Hank the tank. Yeah,
Hank
you
tank.
could do Hank the tank. We're going streaking.
April 1st, he can be Hank the prank.
Hank the prank. Hank the.
That when he's with Brooks Jensen, he's Hank the
wank.
yeah.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of material for this guy.
Hank in the bank.
Hank in the bank.
The Hank bank.
One day. I'm
Hank
adding
bank.
you to my Hank bank.
Was it?
Oh, that could be like his list.
I think our friend Leone messaged us saying that they should call his fans the Hank Hive.
Okay.
So are we calling it the Hank Hive?
The
if
Hank
you're
Hive?
if you're a fan of Hank,
All right.
you're in the Hank bank, the Hank Hive.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can do here. Yeah, not the most impressive match, but you know what? This guy's already over. They need to keep going with it and see where we can go with this. Maybe change the outfit.
I thought it worked. I liked how they're presenting this as just like, this isn't a wrestler. This is a... And the way he wrestled, he didn't look good. But he did look like a big dude who doesn't know what he's doing and would probably beat a guy Bernal's size in a fight.
He's pretty big.
But like, as a first shot, I found this way more entertaining than the Quincy match.
Yeah, I mean, we were
even
marking
though
out for this.
both guys are like look limited so far, but they're also not showing us so much. But
We love Hank here.
we love Hank, and I think if we could watch this guy on this journey, and then one day maybe if he's cutting it, gets like Shawn Michaels dance to the ring and hand him a contract or something and some ring gear.
I think that's what should have happened after this match is someone, if we had Regal or Shawn, I guess, in this position, basically goes, hey, you did good. You can be a wrestler now. And
I think you can build up to that, though.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Fucking Hank.
Yeah.
One day he'll be Money in the Bank. Hank in the Bank.
Exactly.
Future WWE champion. Incredible wrestler, Hank.
We then have a highlight package of some of the big entrances we've seen in 2.0 over the last year. Seeing like Bron break a lot of shit and Caden and Katana dancing with their guns.
Smoke guns,
fog guns. All that. And then we go to Mello and Trick, and they say, well, if we want to talk about entrances, let's talk about Wes Lee's entrance into the medical room. And they just chat a load of shit, calling himself the A champion, and that their match is basically off. It's going to be a celebration.
It's a celebration. Frank in the Twitch chat saying that the Hanks fans need to call themselves Hankies.
Hankies.
Are you a Hanky?
Yeah.
Yeah. After you have a nice Hank, you need a Hanky.
Yeah.
That's right.
There we go. We get another video package for Sol Ruka, who's starting soon, showing her surfing and doing cartwheels and backflips on the beach. And she says, when I'm in the NXT women's division, it won't just be a day at the beach.
It won't be another day at the beach. I really laughed at that. They got me with that.
I'm going to start using that about everything. It won't just be a day at the beach.
Won't be another day at the beach. I'll tell you that for free. Yeah, I think I said last week, I was like, wait, a surfer gimmick? All right, like, yeah, it's about time. It's been too long, so vaya con Dios, bro.
We see that next week we have Wendy Choo taking on Cora Jade and Tyler Bate versus JD McDonagh for the #1 contendership. Then some highlights of tweets from former NXT superstars, kind of congratulating them on a year. And like Johnny Gargano is kind of the main one here about how it's been great sitting at home and watching all these young talents thrive and improve since he's been away.
Yeah.
And then it reveals that Bron Breakker wins the fan vote of NXT 2.0 Superstar of the Year.
Superstar of NXT 2.0, year one.
Melo and Trick then come to the ring and they say that they did Wesley a favor because he can't handle what it means to be the NXT North American champion, and heavy is the head that wears the crown, and I have the biggest crown and the heaviest head. And that's when Solo Sakoa's music hits.
Oos.
The street champion comes out, and Wade is going off on one here, being like, I can't believe he's here. What he did to Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle, I never thought we'd see him again. I don't think he should be welcomed back. Going on like that. And the crowd cotton on right away. They're all chanting, he's got next.
He's got next. That's right. I mean, now he's, big time superstar on SmackDown and the Bloodline and stuff. But the storyline that was going on for the past months was that he got next in line. So here we're finally getting this shot. I didn't see this coming whatsoever. No. I thought we were going to get the classic Wes is going to try to fight but gets beat up, which then just stretches that match out even further. However, this was a bit of a shocker because, he has left. But did we not joke about this when he kept saying, I got next, because we kept saying he's taking that title to the Bloodline. Well, he's doing just that.
Yeah. He grabs the mic, says, Carmelo, like I said before, I got next. And we go right into the match, and Sakoa is just manhandling Melo. He goes for the running hip attack in the corner, but Trick Williams pulls Melo out for the save. And then Sakoa just sends Melo on top of Trick, taking him out. As the ref's distracted, Trick sweeps the injured leg of Solo, and this allows Melo to follow up with his springboard clothesline, and then applies a single leg Boston Crab to Sakoa's injured leg. Sakoa keeps on going for his Samoan drop, but Melo keeps slipping out. He then does connect with the running hip attack in the corner, like Umaga used to do.
Yeah.
And then lifts Melo up for the Samoan drop, but Trick distracts, allowing Melo to hit the code breaker, and then Solo finally hits the pop-up Samoan drop, which
Huge
looked
one.
great.
Yeah, there was a few of them, but one of them was just massive.
And then that's only a 2 count. Sakoa then delivers a huge rock bottom here and then climbs to the top and hits the Uso splash. 1, 2, 3. Solo Sakoa ends the reign of Carmelo Hayes and is your new NXT North American champion.
The street champion is the A champion now, and he's taken the title to the Bloodline on SmackDown. Wow, that's pretty interesting. But the second his music hit, you were like, yeah, do it. Do it.
I think so. I think this works on... First of all, I thought the match was... it didn't really reach the level of Carmelo Hayes matches, but it almost wasn't designed as that. Solo was so dominant here. Melo didn't get a whole lot in. And I like the idea of the switch here. I kind of thought, with it being a mystery opponent, we might be getting the switch here. And now it frees Melo up for Bron, which is the biggest match you can do, I think, in NXT.
Yeah, if anyone taking that title from Bron, it's Carmelo.
Yeah.
So, and we've been saying that for months. So
also, you've got Baby Uce now with the title in the Bloodline. It adds to the story with Sammy. Yeah. With Sammy, where is your gold? Everyone here has gold. Sammy, where's yours? And especially now the new kid is coming in and pushing Sammy out. I think it adds to that.
Sammy for North American champion.
Maybe. I think also Solo should be doing double duty now. I think that makes the most sense because he can improve by working on NXT, and then on SmackDown just come and eat grapes in the dressing room with the Bloodline and kind of just doesn't need.
I'm for it.
Doesn't need to be doing big matches and overexpose himself yet on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But can be a presence so people know him. I think this makes a whole lot of sense and I'm all for it.
I think Sammy, the Bloodline thing stretches until Survivor Series, so you have that 5 versus someone else 5.
Yeah,
that would make more sense.
I think they will do a War Games this year.
I think War Games is the twist Triple H needs to finally do on the main roster. That will happen. But really, really great shocker to the him kind of coming back when we kind of thought, okay, well, I guess he's done. But no, he's coming back, and they played up on that storyline, which was a storyline. The I Got Next thing was a thing, and I like that they tied it back, going full circle with it, and it makes things a bit more exciting. Carmelo can talk, and Trick can talk all the trash now, come up with excuses, which is great for their character, and eventually whoever wins of McDonagh or Bate will probably lose to Bron. And finally, maybe Halloween Havoc is Carmelo versus Bron finally there. So he will become the actual A champion because I think he's the guy to do it. But I'm thinking Carmelo isn't in a bad spot after this because he's still my favorite on the show. But this was a great pop for Solo kind of winning this title here. Great moment.
I will say as well, I think NXT over the last, however long it is, 4 or 5 years, have done a great job with this North American title as a secondary title. I think the TNT Championship was there for a bit and is definitely with the Sammy Guevara, Scorpio Sky, Wardlow reign, that feels like nowhere near as hot as it used to. The IC and US title were always they've been cold for so long. I think this has felt like a big deal right from the beginning, this title, with the likes of Adam Cole holding it, Johnny Gargano holding it. Melo's reign has been the best thing about 2.0, and he's made this title really feel legit, I think.
Yeah.
And I've really enjoyed what they've done with this championship, and I think it's a cool move going with Solo.
If Sammy in the Bloodline needs a title to stay in, he'll just get the 24/7
Yeah.
title. Right, that makes sense as
Makes
well.
the most sense, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, there was some stuff on this show I really liked. I loved the cage match opening the show. I thought Diamond Mine impress every time they stepped foot in the ring. They're always doing creative, innovative stuff. That Doomsday stuff was awesome. There's a team I would like to see kind of go on the main roster because I think they're more than ready to and capable of putting on fantastic stuff on SmackDown or whatever. I'm trying to think of other stuff on this show I liked. I was into JD's creepy barber segment. I always like that. That's always good. And I really liked the shock of Solo kind of coming back and getting the win here and upsetting. And Hank. I think all those things we were kind of marking out over today. So it had some good stuff on this show.
The opener was definitely the best wrestling-wise, but there was definitely newsworthy stuff coming out of this show, I think. And I enjoyed it.
There was still a lot of fluff and 2-hour NXT. I'll always... if you just cut this to a 1-hour show, it probably would have been a great show.
Well, let's see about that, because at the end we have a highlight package of the last year of NXT 2.0, which started with them, a video of them literally building this arena,
this new set,
and had the those designs that we saw when this was coming out.
This is voiceover by Shawn Michaels here,
and it ends with him saying, "We are NXT," and you've got that colorful NXT 2.0 logo, and then it transforms into the same font, but now just black and gold NXT.
Yeah.
So I think it was only a matter of time when they dropped the 2.0 thing.
Yeah.
But I think going back to black and gold as well, I think it's maybe a ideology change as well. So be interesting to see next week what kind of changes there are.
I think the change.
I assume we're going to change the look of the arena a bit.
I mean, there's a few things here. I think tonight was the first change because Solo mixing around now with the main roster having this title means there's going to be more integration of the shows and stuff like that. I mentioned I watched part of Raw when I did watch the Johnny match. They promoted the NXT match the next night. Opening the show is the cage match. So I knew right away, okay, cool. Solo winning this title, I think that's mixing it up with their things. Survivor Series in a few months, maybe they'll involve NXT again somehow, some way. But I'm not saying changing it to the black and gold colors instantly makes everything okay, because that's not the case. But them kind of being hey, maybe things will be kind of that way.
We have seen some subtle changes over the weeks, I think.
Just in the past while, the wrestling's been hitting.
I did read today that they're taping. Next week's is going to be a taped show.
Okay.
So I do imagine that this is what they did this time last year.
Yeah.
And they changed the arena.
Gotcha.
So I imagine we're actually back to a black and gold arena.
Instead of the Nickelodeon kids show.
Yeah. So good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, not bad. So black and gold is coming back.
So maybe next week is our last 2.0, perhaps, if they're taping.
Yeah.
And then the week after we get the start of the black and gold 2.0.
Yeah, are we going to go back to Full Sail University?
Oh,
That'd
maybe.
Really,
that'd be a throwback, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Well, that's what we thought of NXT 2.0. Let's go to the Facebook group to see some feedback of what you guys thought. I see Fire Frank writes in, all hail Hank. And shout out Solo. Pour one out for 2.0.
We go to Ethan, who says, good episode of NXT tonight. The opener was good. Main event was pretty good. Wasn't expecting Solo Sakoa to show up, but glad he won the North American title. I think Hayes goes after the NXT title or gets called up, and also all hail Hank. Next week card looked good. Oro Mensah debuts. Wendy Choo versus Cora Jade. Tyler Bate versus JD McDonagh. Winner gets NXT title match. Sanger versus Von Wagner. And we're getting the Axiom versus Nathan Fraser second match of the best.
Oh, right, true, yeah.
And Toxic Attraction versus Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley. So, this has all been taped. So we know the rundown for next week.
Nice. We go to Sean, who writes in, I'm gonna be honest, up until the main event, I thought this show was pretty bad. The cage match to start was pretty good, but I didn't like the finish. I mean, where was Ivy? Julius was cuffed for a long time. Ivy couldn't run down and save him. I liked Alba as Mandy's next opponent, and I hope she finally takes the strap. I love Bron's sit-down interview. Nice to know he speaks at a normal volume. But other than that, landed all on the talent and gimmicks that I just don't care to see, like Tony, Vaughn, Gacy, and Lash. The show didn't feel like a special anniversary show. Then Solo walked out. He and Melo tore the house down, and Solo is the new A-champ with some interesting implications for SmackDown and the Bloodline now that they have the gold. I am very interested in seeing where things go from here, and then at the end, a new logo. I definitely wouldn't mind an end to the color splash era. I don't know, I kind of like colored paint everywhere.
We go to Naz from NYC, who says, this was a good episode of NXT. I'm glad I decided to watch. The main event was totally done to serve the main roster storyline, but I loved it. I can't wait for SmackDown and see Sammy as the only one in the Bloodline without a belt. The opening cage match was really good. They do video packages better in NXT. The Cora Jade video package with her promo was so good. That should be the video they run when they move her up. I don't have any plans yet to attend Dynamite in Queens, but I'm definitely going to try to meet you guys for a drink at the pre-show meetup. Yes.
Excellent.
Cheap shots next Wednesday. Come.
We go to Megan, who says the cage match was damn good. The Creeds have an out because of Kemp's meddling. Pretty Deadly are easily the best heel team on this side of Revival FTR. The tag team this side of the Revival FTR? Does that mean he says they're just as good as the
tag team this side?
Yeah. The way it was structured was clever, with Pretty Deadly trying to escape every chance they got. I was seated ready to see Lee versus Melo until a wild Solo Sakoa appeared. I was blindsided. The Bloodline's reach exceeds their grasp as Solo becomes the NA champ, adding to an already ridiculous trophy case. On one hand, it frees up Melo to go for the NXT title, but I don't think it'll be sustainable for Solo to hop between here and SmackDown. He'll have to lose it to someone. I'm sure the Bloodline diehards will have a conniption for hearing it. I said what I said.
Conniption, that's what Shaq talks about in those Epsom commercials, right?
Conniptions?
Conniptions.
I'm having a conniption reading all these conniptions. He says the 2.0 subtitle is out. White and gold is in.
And then finally, Jordan has a nice plug for us, reminding us that he's looking forward to our live show tomorrow. Yes, 1 p.m. We'll put a nice little bow on this year of 2.0 with Denise Salcedo. I'm just rhyming here.
Yeah.
And Jason Solomon talking all about this year of NXT 2.0.
Yeah, hang out with us in the YouTube and the Twitch tomorrow. Follow the socials for everything, the Facebook group, all that stuff. We will be going live 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and then the audio will be out later on this feed and the post-wrestling feed, wherever you get your podcasts. Hey, if you listen on Apple Podcasts, give us a nice little 5-star review if we deserve it. Write a nice little note. Same with Spotify. You can vote on Spotify, rate things,
review on everything as many times as you want.
All the likes, RTs, all that stuff. We appreciate, guys. We appreciate you listening to us talk about some NXT. We're recording a bunch of shows tomorrow, so go check out all the other stuff. BD Elite tomorrow night, chatting about Dynamite, all the stuff. Go check us out. We love you. We love you. We love you.
We do indeed.
Yeah, we can't do this without you, so thank you. I myself, Braden Herrington, I'm on Twitter and I am on Instagram. I am at the Bray D.
And I am at Davie Portman.
That's it. That's all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. Happy birthday, NXT 2.0. You survived 1 year, but let's go, Hank.
Ahoy!
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.